are back with another episode for Gilded Shadows. We're gonna pick up where we left off with Ari looking, just teaching us how to fall, which, is a little interesting. I am very worried about when we have our training with Caleb, because he is not gonna hold back on us, like, at all. We're gonna get our butts handed to us. But yeah. He handed me one without a word, taking the other one for himself. I drank from it gratefully, watching him out of the corner of my eye. There was a thin sheen of sweat on his forehead, but I suspected it was because it was just warm in the room. That couldn't have functioned as any sort of real workout for him. His eyes really are a strange color, aren't they? Girl, you should see them when they glow. That had to be due to fade. I'd heard it could affect eye color as well. What's fade? I don't remember reading about that. Ari looked my way. I flushed and averted my gaze. I hadn't meant to stare. It wasn't like I hadn't gotten a good look at him a dozen times already. Is everything alright? Like I said, boy's dense. It's fine. We're going to work on meditation next. Or is there more falling and getting back up to be done? Nice deflection, Morgan. I thought it would be best to end with meditation, yes. Does everyone here use meditation to help with their abilities? Not everyone needs it, but it's encouraged. I use it to help me maintain focus. Utilizing long-range teleportation abilities can be dangerous. It requires precise clairvoyant reach. Clairvoyance is specifically the knowledge of present events as they are happening, despite the distance between the events and the esper. Clairvoyance is basically a psionic skill hang on. Clairvoyance is a basic psionic skill possessed by everyone with psi energy, even non-espers to some degree. It is the quintessential psi ability. For most humans with EA scores at or below the planetary standard, their mild clairvoyance allows them the ability to utilize the nanosystem naturally. For espers, this ability is far stronger. For instance, it is what allows knights to locate and teleport to a targeted area safely. An esper's range of clairvoyant awareness is referred to as their sphere. I believe it'll help you as well. Queens require greater flexibility in thinking and a general understanding of many other kinds of psi. Mimicking different skills can be difficult to master, and the mind strain can be immense. So besides being put... Guys, we got new music. Something's about to happen. So besides being put in a dangerous situation, I also have to deal with the fact that just using my psi ability can be dangerous. Our jobs are dangerous, but mitigating that danger is the purpose of this training. Is something bothering you? Not at all. I'm fine with training to prepare myself for the immense strain of doing this job. You were under immense strain during your studies, were you not? It's not the same thing. Is this not just another form of study? You see that little eyebrow raise he's given us? I was studying archaeology. This is studying to do some dangerous job I never imagined I'd be doing. As I recall from your records, wasn't your goal to go off-world to conduct research? And? I assume fieldwork is often done in dangerous locations where there are harsh conditions. Surely excavation sites aren't always safe either. That's different, Ari, though. We're not fighting people. We don't have people out to kill us. It's different. Of course, it's not without danger. This job as well is not without danger. In fact, not much about your situation has changed. I can tell what the right answer is. I guess I didn't really think of it that way, right? But I don't agree. I don't agree with that. Like, fundamentally, I don't agree with that. It's very different when you are in a dangerous situation, but you're not gonna have to potentially harm and and kill people, for one. But also, like, you don't have people trying to harm and kill you, typically. You may be in a situation where, yeah, they're not friendly, and you do encounter some hostility if you're sort of wandering into unknown or foreign territory. But, I don't think it's the same. We're going to be in a situation where literally our job is to, not necessarily to fight, but it's inherently dangerous. Being an archaeologist isn't inherently dangerous. There are dangers that come along with it, but that's not what the gist of it typically involves. This is how I feel. I feel like I still don't think it's the same. But I'm guessing this is how we're supposed to respond. You know, to be, like, receptive to what he's telling us. Alright. We'll choose this one. Because, I am gonna go back and play, like get the bad endings. So I will choose some of these other ones. Besides, this is a lot like real life, right? You don't always say what you're thinking. I guess I didn't really think of it that way. Maybe it feels different because the dangers of uncovering historical sites aren't as in your face. I'm not sure I understand what you mean. Ari, work with me here, please. There's a difference between a situation where you might encounter something dangerous and where you might encounter someone actively trying to harm you. Thank you! See, Morgan gets it. Look, I took a rock climbing class 2 years ago. It was right at the edge of the wastes. I love rock climbing, by the way, just a side note. There's a city there called Gilded that has several small natural cliffs. A small city on the edge of the Twilight region. It is built directly into some cliffs and is known for its rock climbing and the naturalistic culture and lifestyle promoted in the city. It is not aligned and largely self-sufficient. It's a popular vacation spot for people from more populated domes. I laughed slightly, shaking my head at the memory. I thought it would be helpful if I ever managed to get off-world. You never know what you'll encounter. Anyway, there were safety lines and everything, but it's not like there was no danger at all. And in a way, the fact it was a little dangerous made it more exciting. But it wasn't like the rocks were trying to kill me. Can you not learn to see this job as exciting? I don't know. On that trip, there was this moment I was scaling a nearly vertical rock face, and at one point my foot slipped, but I managed to hang on and keep climbing. When I reached the top and saw how far I'd climbed, there was such a wonderful sense of accomplishment. I don't know that I can ever feel that way from beating up someone else. Our job does not involve only beating up people, Morgan. We protect people as well, and we help this planet continue to function peacefully. I believe you may find that you feel a similar sense of accomplishment from realizing you kept someone safe from a dangerous situation. It is an erroneous assumption that all we do is fight or try to avoid being killed by other people. I get it. To be fair, my introduction to all this involved a significant amount of fighting and people shooting at me. I can see how that might have given you a distorted view of what it means to be here. But remember, you are not alone. None of us is. We work in teams, and your team includes people who will be quite determined to keep you safe. The job is dangerous, perhaps differently from what you were prepared for, but that is the purpose of this training, to prepare you. Just like your studies, just like your rock climbing class. It's just hard to maintain sight of what people keep talking about, when people keep talking about the danger aspect. For the time being, simply focus on the task before you. During the rest of the session will be... He stopped abruptly and tilted his head away from me. His eyes went far away, fixed on a point somewhere across the room. I knew that look well. He was getting a message from someone else. It took a few minutes before he looked at me again. It seems we'll have to cut this session short. I apologize, but my presence is required elsewhere. Is everything okay? It's nothing you should worry about. Just work. We must reserve working on meditation techniques for tomorrow. Alright, I understand. In the meantime, you should shower and relax. You worked hard today. We'll resume the lesson tomorrow at the same time. He picked up his things and quickly left. I watched him go, wondering what was so urgent that he had to ditch our lesson like that. After a moment, I left the training room again, heading for my flat for a shower. After cleaning up, I decided to go to the lounge for dinner. I was still iffy about the stares and whispers, but I couldn't stay holed up in my flat forever. Vaughn was right. This was home now. The session with Ari had taken an unexpected turn as well. I hadn't expected life lessons on falling and moving forward. But whether or not he intended it, the message was clear. And it helped put things in perspective. I would have to adapt. And even if I was a little self-conscious on my own, dinner at the lounge turned out fine. I saw Birdie and Casey again, and they chatted for a while. That was nice. The two of them were fun to be around. I spent the entire evening laughing at their antics. The only dark spot to the evening was after they left, and even then it wasn't that bad. We're gonna run into Heidi again. A group of junior agents had come in. One of them being that girl from earlier in the morning, the one who wanted a queen promotion. I almost confronted them when I heard them snickering and looking my way. It was so ridiculous for them to act that way, but I had to remind myself that they were younger than me. Not by much, but by enough. It showed in their actions. And then I just felt sad that such young kids were out in the field doing such a dangerous job. I didn't have the heart to say anything to them after that. I like how, though, she does sort of look at that, and feel bad for them. Because, they are still kids when it comes down to it, right? And that, like she said, that shows in their interactions, like the fact that they're, like, laughing at her and, kikiing and, acting like high schoolers. But it's also pretty terrifying that these are people that are also going to be out fighting other, like, grown adults with psi abilities. Eventually, I found myself standing at the window with a cup of tea in hand, looking out over Brazil and listening to the quiet murmur of voices around me. Oh. I didn't expect to see you out and about for a while. Not alone, anyhow. I stiffened at the sound of Caleb's voice, but didn't object when he joined me at the window. He dressed different, a lot more casual. I can't stay in my room forever. Can't argue with that. Oh, there's something you can't argue with. That's a surprise. Looks like Vaughn's already starting to rub off on you in the most annoying ways. I just laughed at his irritation. He must not have been too bothered by me being annoying, though, because he didn't leave. How'd training go today? It was fine, but we didn't quite make it to the end. I was called away before he could finish, so it was cut a little short. Well, he's in high demand, so I guess that's not a shock. High demand? Do you know where they called him to? Who knows? They're always wanting him to teleport people to various places around. Oh, because they said that was really hard to do if you're doing it to someone else but not yourself. Half the time he's treated like a transport instead of an agent. It's shitty work, but he never complains, so they keep asking it of him. Just Ari? It's not like he's the only knight here. Only one with the range he's got. He took a sip from his cup, eyes focused somewhere in the distance. I feel bad that he has to deal with me on top of all that now. Don't. If he doesn't like it, he can say so. Ari would never say anything, even if he didn't like it. Probably. Idiot never complains about anything, even when he should. What a great friend. I don't think that makes him an idiot. If you feel bad about it, work hard so it's worthwhile for him to put time into training you. I guess that's the most practical way to look at it. And next time he gets called away early, you can always ask someone else to take over. Ari's not the only member of your guard. Is he jealous? You're volunteering then? Better than having you toss another building at me because you don't know what the hell you're doing out there. Ah, that makes more sense. What's that mean? You almost sounded like you were being nice, so I was a little confused. Shut the hell up. I just laughed at him again. You'll never let me live down that building thing, will you? Maybe when you get over the kidnapping thing. Fair enough. We stood there quietly for a long time, looking out over Brazil, before I went back to my room feeling lighter than before. Everything really would be okay, after all, I was certain. Chapter 5. Rising through the ranks. Okay. So, looks like we got more training. Let me see how far in we are, because last time, I did end up playing for longer than what I had intended. Which isn't a horrible thing, but still. Okay. I do think I'm going to end things here. Let's go ahead and check where we're at. We're doing pretty good with Ari. We've got half the affection bar filled up. Let me make sure that I haven't missed anything else. So here are our 2 CGs with him so far. This one is just amazing. Yeah, anyway. Other than that, do we have anything else? I already went over the flowchart. I think that's everything. I kind of want to play some more. Maybe I'll just play for like 10 more minutes. See, here's my problem. Normally when I play visual novels, I binge them. So if I'm playing somebody's route, I will play it for like 12 hours in a day until I finish. But I can't do that with this for a couple reasons. For one, because I'm pretty sure this is going to end up being a lot longer than 12 hours. When I looked at my playtime on Steam for this, I was already at 11 hours. So I can't really do that with this one. And on top of that, since I'm speaking the words for this video, my voice will go out long before 12 hours. So, not really an option. Okay, each time my fist hit the punching bag, the counter on the side increased. It was currently at 50. The sensor also recorded the amount of force behind each punch, but it hadn't budged for a while now. In fact, after nearly an hour of working out, it had decreased slightly, but that makes sense because you're going to get tired. It was time for a break. I grabbed the bag to steady it, resting my forehead against it momentarily. Watching myself get further away from the goal Ari had set for me was frustrating. Even though he told me to not really worry about it for now, since it would take time to build up that much strength. I wiped my forehead with the back of my hand and lifted my ponytail off my neck. Now, if my teacher would just show up, this was the 3rd day in a week that he was late. And he doesn't seem like, he's very responsible, so he doesn't seem like he'd be late unless he had a very good reason to. There was a prickle at the back of my head, and I turned towards the door about 2 seconds before the person there spoke. Oh, Vaughn. She grinned as soon as our eyes met. Not bad. I glanced back at the punching bag with a faint shrug. It's okay, I guess. I still haven't hit the goal yet or anything, but I'm improving slowly. I wasn't talking about the punches. You noticed me before I said anything, didn't you? Oh, I faltered. Had I? I guess I'd felt something. I hadn't given it much thought. Why else would you turn around before I even said anything? I guess I did. Vaughn came further into the room, still grinning. Well, it's pretty good to see your senses are already improving that much. Ari's meditation techniques must be working. Ari's techniques? He made it seem like they were a pretty standard thing for everyone here. Or do you use different ones? I pulled the gloves off and went for some water while Vaughn made her way to the punching bag. I use similar techniques sometimes. I don't need it as much, so I don't do it nearly as much as he does. I haven't had to for a really long time. So, does that mean Ari needs some meditation? I wonder why. I've never had much trouble controlling or using my abilities. I guess I was probably your age when I stopped doing it. Unless I'm having a bad day and need to clear my head a little. Don't say it like you're so much older than me. I am so much older than you, kiddo. I rolled my eyes at her, though I couldn't keep the smile off my face. Even so, I'm not that young. At the very least, you've got a few years of those junior agents that keep following you around. They have got a few years of training experience on me, and they don't really follow me. Some of them seem to have taken pretty keen interest in your progress. I made a face at that. I knew who she was talking about, and I really didn't want to think about it. That person had taken an interest because she saw me as a threat. Several tense interactions over the past few days had made that clear. Well, in any case, potential is as important as training experience. So you keep saying. I took a sip of water. As I took a sip of water, I watched Vaughn take a stance in front of the punching bag and throw a punch. My eyes widened as I watched the force measurement on the side shoot up. I know she has cybernetic augmentation, but that's insane. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and save her. So, this seems like a decent spot to save at. I can tell like we're having a slow build up here. She's getting acclimated as far as endgame and her abilities. I'm still not quite sure what the focal point of the plot is going to revolve around, but I'll be interested to see how it all develops. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.
What have you been doing all this time, huh? Last time I saw you, you had your head buried in her underwear drawer, you creep.
Oh my god. Okay, that escalated quickly. Oh.